Mic check 1 2 1 2. Is this thing on? All right. And we're alive. Welcome back, everybody, to another epic live with your girl, DP Jeter. Yes, better known as Danielle Page Jeter. And I'm super excited to bring to you a mastermind conversation. So, as you know, I travel the world, I travel the country, and I go to amazing events all the time. And I meet so many entrepreneurs, innovators, executives, visionaries, leaders, and we have great conversations when I meet people. I obviously do my part and I follow up. That's a part of deal flow. That's a part of making things happen. But I also want to take things a step further. And so I'm going to be utilizing my YouTube live and my YouTube series to actually bring these conversations that I'm having at these amazing events that I go to, and I'm going to bring them online as well. So, on Mastermind Conversations, you will be able to find this on both of our YouTube channels, where the people that I meet at these amazing events and opportunities around the country, around the world, I'm going to invite a few of them to have conversations with me on these YouTube lives. So you can go ahead and subscribe to us on the YouTube. My YouTube channel is actually just like my handle right here, DP Jeter, or Danielle Page Jeter on Instagram. I'm sorry, on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure that you don't miss one of these mastermind conversations. And so there we are. Make sure you go ahead and join me on YouTube. So I do have a guest who's going to be joining me today, but this is not a person that I met like recently. We did originally meet at an event, but we have been connected for several years at this point. And so I'm excited to introduce to you my guest who's going to be on the show today. So let me make sure you see that. Yes. So go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. All right. Make sure you are subscribed on the YouTube because, we get into YouTube right now. We're going to get it popping. And I love the conversations that we're going to have, bringing exciting people on to my platform. So without further ado, I'm super excited to welcome Joseph Swift on to Mastermind Conversations today. He is a creative visionary and Emmy nominated producer, educated, and the mind behind Podcast Heroes. This is a AI powered animated film that celebrates community, culture, and storytelling. From Queens, New York to the digital screen, Joseph has been on a mission to elevate voices, empower everyday heroes, and show how technology and AI can transform the way that we are telling stories today. He's also a tech coach and a podcast mentor, helping creators step confidently into this new era of media. And so let's give my guest a warm welcome onto Mastermind Conversations. Welcome to the show. You're muted.
Here we go.
There you go.
Thanks for having me on the show. I don't know what happened.
Absolutely. I want to say, thank you so much for reaching out and even requesting to come on to the show and like sparking an idea for me to actually engage and have these conversations. Um, Sometimes there is a challenge because obviously women in media is my platform that I have that is for women that is, in the industry. But I also have this other YouTube, and I'm like, hey, how about I just go ahead and continue to kick off what I was doing on my YouTube channel? And so I'm glad that you brought that back and that you said, hey, can I come onto the show? So grateful for you.
Anytime.
Thanks again. Thanks again for reaching out. So when we reconnected recently at Podcast Summit, you reminded me of like how we met years ago because like you did come to one of the women in media conferences. Maybe it was like my sixth or fifth annual, I think it was my sixth annual one where Angela Yee was there. And you were like, no, we actually met before that conference. So if you could tell everybody that story, let's kick things
Okay.
off and let people know like we've been friends.
Correct. Yeah. I think I'm not sure the year. I don't know if it's 2018 2015, somewhere around that time.
Mm.
It was in Philadelphia at a Clinton Global event, I believe it was, and I think you were a moderator or you were in charge of the event. I'm not sure if it was your event in
Yeah,
combination with the
one
Clinton
of the I
Global.
was in one of those 2 roles or maybe even
Yeah,
both, like, something to that effect, yes.
yeah. I remember we started speaking, I believe, after you gave your speech. We were talking about media, and then we've been staying in contact since, and we meet each other at these events throughout the
Yep,
country, and that's how we, stay in contact. And you invited me to your event in Philadelphia a couple years after that. Yeah.
yep. So again, I appreciate you. It's always great seeing you. We've run into each other at Podcast Summit. We run into each other at Invest Fest. I think those are probably the 2 main places that we've run into each other. But next year we have a plan to run into each other in Atlanta during the
InvestFest?
the National Black Journalists
Oh,
Association
okay.
conference. We already put that on the calendar. Remember, we said we was going to do
Yes.
that.
And,
So, but
I forgot to include, you also wrote a few articles for the magazine, for Our World Media, a couple years back.
wow, yeah, I didn't even, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you have a long memory.
exactly.
So time just keeps like running on by, but I'm super grateful that we're connected and I'm able to support you. You've supported me throughout the years, so I'm grateful to be able to share your story today. And so, before we dive into podcast heroes, can you share with us a little bit more about your journey into media and entrepreneurship?
No, it's a long story.
Okay, give us, Cliff Notes version of it.
Yeah. It started back, say probably early 2000s. I started as a DJ probably around 2004, 5, around that time, and I was, DJing in clubs and house parties, and started taking pictures with my point and shoot camera. Pictures weren't coming out the way I wanted them to, and I used to speak to photographers and ask them how to get better photos. They told me I needed a professional camera. So once I got the professional camera, I noticed a big improvement in the photos, and
Okay.
that's really where it started. And after my DJ set, I would take pictures in the parties, in the clubs, and people used to ask me, how can I see them? So it led to me putting it on MySpace and Facebook. And then I learned how to get a website, and it just grew from there. That's a
Mhm.
quick introduction to me getting into media.
Yeah, so I've noticed you have worn so many hats: DJ, designer, photographer, TV producer. So how have these experiences shaped the way that you create today?
Well, it gave me an understanding of how each role works and how they all connect to each other, and to have a better respect and understanding of how everything works. And it just made it easier for me to attack certain job positions because I'm able to understand the different areas, like on camera, off camera, the technical part of it, a little bit of the writing, and also financial and stuff like that. So I'm getting my mind is more clear on how everything works.
Has there been like a favorite point in your career? Like, is do you love doing one over the other?
Yes, I love the photography part. That's like a passion that I have. That's like something that I love the most out of all the roles that I play. I love being the photographer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so, what was the turning point where you knew you wanted to bring your creative vision to life through animation and film?
That happened recently. It was for me, I'm shocked by how that just came about. I was in the house, as I was telling somebody else, I was in the house and I wasn't approved for an event, sitting there bored, trying to figure out what to do. And I just went on the computer, well, my phone, looking through Instagram, and I seen people were posting little videos and photos of like the action
Right.
figures. That's where it
Mhm.
started. And I just looking at the action figures, I was like, how are people creating this? So I went online, figure out how people were doing it, and then I created my own. And then I said to myself, I wonder how can I make the character move like a cartoon? And it just I kept learning and going down the rabbit hole. And from that, it led to me creating like a still cartoon figure of myself. I already had a cartoon figure. I said to myself, I wonder if I could take some other photos that I have and get them animated. So I did that. And then I was like, wonder if I could make them talk, and just kept growing from there.
And so you pretty much taught yourself how to do all of this animation.
Correct. Well, also you have to include that my background is in television and media. So it's not like first time ever doing something like this in terms of
Okay.
editing, but in terms of the full animation, yes, this is my first time creating, animation.
And so the story podcast Heroes highlights Queens, New York, and community voices. So why is it important for you to root the film in real neighborhoods and real people?
It made it easy for me to do it that way because I didn't at first I didn't have a storyline to go by, you know. So I was like, let me see if I can use my family, which they do help me, in my work. So that was like the easiest route to go to choose my family. I work with my mother often, and my oldest niece, she's learning the business as well. So I said, let me include them. And then I just expand that storyline with the, two little kids and my mother. And then we created a van that we go around New York with our equipment and helping people on their podcast and TV shows and, with the van. So that was like our mode of transportation.
Yeah, that's true. Like it's cool. So there's Maya, there's Mariah, there's Pauline and yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
we're the main characters.
are those main characters like identically related to your family members, or is it some creativity in their personalities and like their gifts and the things that they do and their desires and their likes and stuff?
Well, the the script wasn't that detailed, but I would say mostly what you see is how they are, especially the little one. She likes to dance and sing. So in the movie, she's singing her own song. And one day she came to my house, she put on the headphones and she was sitting in front of the roadcaster. And I was saying to myself, that's how I'm gonna create her in the movie, you know, being on the machine and have her dancing because she likes to do that. So I would say the real life counterparts, very similar to the storyline of how they act,
Hmm.
you know. Yeah. But they're
Awesome.
growing, so they're gonna be changing. So how they are now may not be the same, in a year or two.
Oh yeah, obviously, naturally they'll grow. So
Exactly.
I definitely believe that representation matters, which is, a large part of the passion and the work behind what I do in media, whether it's through my PR agency, AOI Events and Public Relations, or even through Women in Media. So, how do you see podcast heroes contributing to like the cultural representation in media overall?
So right now, a few schools reached out to me and other programs here in New York. They're trying to figure out how can they include my movie in some type of training to educate, young people on speaking, getting their message out and, positive message, how to get that out and just expand upon what I'm doing. So right now I'm in the very early stages of all this. So it's see how it can really take off to something bigger than what I originally planned.
Hmm.
That's where it's at right now. I would love to see it grow further. Funding is always necessary. So we're working on that and just connecting to the right people to get the message out there, the movie, so it could, help people in their communities, students, adults.
Congratulations on,
Right.
the birth of this new project and the success that you have seen so far, and also the responses that you're getting of people like very interested, because it's very innovative. Doing a whole AI movie, I think is definitely pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
like we've said, like you've called this an AI movie. So, can you continue to break down like what does that mean? And like really breaking down to the novice how AI played a role in producing podcast heroes.
Okay. So Podcast Heroes is an animated movie, meaning that the characters are like cartoons basically. So similar to, Disney and other movie houses, how they make their animation. But I went a different way because normally you have to sit down and draw different sketches of each scene, and then you put them in the computer and maybe use a tool like Adobe Illustrator or any other program to turn it into like a cartoon, maybe 3D, 2D, 3D picture, and then you have to get it animated using other tools. So I went a different route using the new technology that's out, the artificial intelligence. Specifically, I started with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT allows you to create images now, not just text. You can do images. So I started there, and I just expanded by learning other tools, what other websites and tools were available to do different animation movements, voiceovers, and it just kept expanding. Because at the same time, I was learning how animation works, and then how animation works in this new generation using AI. So it's still a learning curve, but I had the tools of, say, for example, Adobe Premiere, DaVinci Resolve to do the actual editing, putting the video clips on a timeline and adding sound effects as I usually do for projects. So I took my
Okay.
knowledge that I had already and basically I mixed the two together. So that's why I was able to release it so quickly because I already had knowledge. I wasn't coming in with no knowledge of at all on how to, create a project similar to that.
And how long did it take you?
It took me roughly 3 months, which
Okay.
in normal animation, that's extremely quick because that usually would take anywhere from probably 2 to 4 years and a couple $1 million and maybe like a team of at least 30, 40 people.
Oh wow, but AI was able to add some efficiency and speed the process up.
Yes, it's not, if you're a professional, it's not perfect. If you can tell, pull out the little defects, it's not perfect, but for it being so new and what it can do, it's shocking, it's scary, it's fun, it's all that wrapped up into one. And I love taking on, projects like that. And I'm happy that I was able to actually create it. I had it in my head. And I was saying to myself, I wonder if I could actually turn this into, a real project.
Have you screened it anywhere? Have you had any events where you screened the movie?
I have it right now. I sent it out to Urban World Film Festival, waiting for them to respond back. I sent it out to a few other film festivals, which they got rejected. So, I'll just have to continue. But I'm waiting on Urban World to get back to me. Hopefully, they pick it up. But it's still in the early stages.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let me go into a quick commercial break and then we'll come right back. We'll bring Joe right back after this quick commercial break. But I definitely wanted to take just a few minutes right now to make sure to let you guys know that the very next Meet Up to Millions Mastermind is coming to Miami extremely soon. So this is going to be November 7th through the 11th in Miami. The website meetuptomillionsmastermind.com is where you can go to get all of the information. This is a 3-day business transformation experience for those who are looking to learn how to scale their business and brand to 6 and 7 figures. This 3-day experience with me in Miami covers marketing, sales, and also mindset. We talk about branding as well, and all of these elements that is really necessary in order to get your business to another level. This experience is for those who kind of feel stuck. And as we enter, we're in the fourth quarter right now. This is a great opportunity and time for you to really focus in on your business and figure out what are the things that are missing from my marketing strategy that will allow me to get more customers and more leads in my business, that I can drive sales and be able to do more movement, move more product, move more service, move more in your business. And so we want to help you get unstuck. This is a 3-day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It includes some fun activities, but really come and get ready to work on your business to figure out where are those stuck points in your marketing and sales system so that we can, in order to ultimately help you grow to the next level. So if you haven't hit 6 figures yet in your business, this is definitely for you. And if you are looking to grow to be a 7-figure earner, you want to be a full-time entrepreneur and grow in your business, this experience is for you. We only have 25 seats available, so you must apply in order to get access to the mastermind. So go to meetuptomillionsmastermind.com, click apply, quickly fill out that Google form and someone will be in contact with you from our team. This is probably our fifth or sixth mastermind experience, and we are looking forward to connecting with more entrepreneurs in Miami, Florida. So we can't wait to see you November 7th through the 11th. All right. So now we are back in our
Oh,
interview, back like we never left. So let's continue, Joe, to talk about podcast heroes and everything that you are creating with this AI movie, y'all. Okay.
yeah.
So podcast heroes celebrates collaboration and mentorship. How does this mirror your own approach to entrepreneurship?
Well, it allows myself and many others to be more creative. Have more tools now, which for me it's better. It allows me to create quicker and saves me more money. Saves me money versus coming up with millions of dollars that I don't have
Right.
right now to do a project on this level. It
Yep.
allows my mind to expand and come up with more ideas, and then also to help people, in different neighborhoods, different communities that I probably wouldn't be able to help them in this way. So it's another tool that allows me to help others. So I like that. You know.
I just want to point out and give you, your roses because you are literally probably one of the most exceptional professionals that I've ever had the opportunity to work with. Because you are all about delivering and execution, right? You don't just say you're going to do something, you actually do it at high quality. And you have such a pleasant attitude, right? You're a very professional person. You're extremely kind and you are extremely giving. And so I just want you to know that I see you, right? And I appreciate you for always consistently being that person. And as we continue to grow in our careers, it sticks out, right? Because I can't say that I've always had the most positive experiences with small business owners, but you are definitely one of the ones that stick out. And so I definitely want to encourage, entrepreneurs to just continue to grow, continue to stay in mentorship, continue to get coaching, and find the areas in your business that you're not great at, that you're not excelling at, and learn about how you can grow through those things. Because ultimately, I believe that entrepreneurship, as founders, right? We didn't create these companies just to give ourselves another job,
Correct.
right? As founders, our job is to one, solve a problem, and two, create opportunity and jobs for other people. You are the boss, right? And so at some level, you have to continue to figure out how can you grow to a new place. And I just wanted to make sure that you knew that,
Thank
and
you.
definitely give you your roses.
Woo!
You're very welcome. You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome.
Means a lot.
Absolutely. So I want to know, like, in your opinion, how should entrepreneurs view AI? Some people are looking at it as a threat, some people are looking at it as a tool, and others are looking at it as an opportunity. But
Mhm.
what's your
I'm still in the early stages of advice. Have mixed feelings. I do feel it's gonna definitely take some of our jobs. I feel it would help us at the same time. It's a tool, and as I usually say, a tool can be used to hurt something or hurt somebody, or be used to help. Just like other forms of technology, for example, Blockbuster Video, one of my favorite places, doesn't exist anymore because of
Mhm.
technology. Technology made it possible for streaming, which eliminated many jobs. It also created many jobs. But it would definitely help people that have a skill to increase their skill, and people that are trying to get into what I do, animation, graphics, and stuff like that. It would be a big boost. And in all areas, I mean, I'm using AI in my field of graphics, animation, stuff like that, stuff that I'm comfortable in right now, I'm familiar with. It's used in every industry. I don't see right now a way to prevent it. And
Mhm.
if you're still a person that's working, at some point you may have to learn it. Just like the way the computer came out, at some point, almost all industries had to use or have to use a computer at some point. Their phones, a laptop, tablet. You're in the hospital, they tell you to check in now on the laptop. I mean, on a tablet. So just learn as much as you can in your field, and even if if you're an entrepreneur that's trying to start a business, see how you can incorporate, AI to help you with, day-to-day tasks, or, just business overall. It can be used to help you, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, don't think that it's not going to take away jobs, but the jobs may not be. Let me see. Those jobs that are taken away may make more jobs, which usually what happens. I can't say for sure. I don't know the future. All I know is stuff is changing. Stuff always changed. It's just now you're living in the change. You know, there's no
Right.
way to stop it. You just have to try to learn it if you want to move forward. Because I see society just keep moving. They're moving forward with this. They're not slowing down.
I think as a business owner, AI is extremely exciting. I don't have a job for AI to replace because I'm not
That's good.
employed. You know, so entrepreneurs and founders, what you don't be worried. You are the job curator. You are the innovator. You are the creative person. So that's what we do. We create opportunities for ourselves, right? And so while there are aspects of what we do as marketers, me in PR and brand strategy, where of course an AI tool can be utilized to do parts of my job. But at the end of the day, I believe that what I bring to the table, a tool necessarily like my creativity, my thought leadership on things, and the way that I approach projects, there still is someone that needs to one manage the AI and the technology. And so if you learn it, then you could essentially be that person. But
Right.
ultimately, AI, they're creating, but they can't manage themselves, right? And so what I bring to the table, I ultimately believe that it's still a need for human interaction in some of these workflows. So I just think that is very exciting, and I'm diving into it. I've been learning AI for the last 2 years, and every day, there's something new to look into. Like right now, I'm learning about creating AI agents, and
Yes.
very excited. I found, where the gaps are in my process and my business, that I can employ an AI agent to help be more efficient in my business. And if I'm more efficient in my business and more effective in my business, then I can manage and bring on more clientele to work with. I can bring on more people, to obviously provide services for. And so I think there's still going to be the need for the human interaction with the technology. You just have to learn the technology and rise above it. So with
Well,
that being said, were you about to say something?
that says well said.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
So talk to me about, like, what lessons did you learn about using AI in the creative storytelling process that business owners can apply in their own industries?
Well, similar to what you said, I learned that you still need the human involved. The human is still needed to do the full creation. I mean, it helps a lot, the AI, but you need that bridge of including the human being to double check everything. And in my field, it's all about the story. When I
Yep.
was reading the original story, I said, this it's so plain, it needs more. So the AI got me this far, but I needed the human element to expand upon the story. You need that human emotion and,
Mhm.
for it to live. Like, it's AI, but you still need that. You need the story. What's the message? And humans, I feel, right now tells the best story. Robots, AI can't tell the story the way a human could.
Mhm.
So that's one thing that I learned. The other thing is that, the tools are great, but they're still not there yet. For example, when you create characters, sometimes they have 3 arms. You have to check that to make sure that there's 2 arms, that there's
Right.
not 6 fingers,
Six
stuff like
fingers,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff. And there's a lot more technical stuff I don't wanna go into right now unless you want to, but, stuff like
Mhm.
that, I'm like, still not there yet." But you got me here. I still have to go in and do my tweaking. So for the entrepreneur, and the leader, still, you're in charge of everything. You have to make sure, everything is on the level that you want. And I had a high expectation. I was creating it as a movie, not just a video just put up and just leave it alone. Like I wanted to get as close as possible to the high level with the skill that I have at the time, to put it at the highest level possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hopefully I answered the question correctly.
Yeah, no, you did. We definitely have some things that we can take away from your answer. In addition to Podcast Heroes, and then also your other company, 122 Studios, you and your mother also co-founded Our World Media. So,
Correct.
what lessons about family and legacy and teamwork can other entrepreneurs learn from your experience?
They could, well, if they follow my career and they'll realize it's not easy. Well, for me, I could say it's not easy at all. It's been an uphill battle, learning the whole scope of the type of work that I do in the media business. It's fun at the same time, you know, plus working with family is a challenge. I enjoy everything, and one thing you can get away is like get one thing you can get from it is not giving up. Because another thing I learned is there's always constant rejection, and that's something that I hate a
Mm,
lot. Rejection, just learning how to deal with it, move forward, keep growing the business because there's always rejection. Like no matter how big you are, like you wouldn't think that maybe this company didn't get the contract, but they got another contract. Maybe after 10 attempts, they finally got it. And you think, oh, just do it one time, submit an application, and you're good. So dealing with rejection is a big thing that I learned, and other entrepreneurs that are starting, definitely you have to learn about rejection and how to deal with it and move forward.
that's a fact. Entrepreneurship comes with a lot of yeses and a lot of nos. And um, I think one way that we can deal with it is through a lens of faith and knowing that, like, the doors that close are obviously not supposed to be a part of our plan, and they're not supposed to be a part of the destiny. So we can be grateful for certain things not working out, certain doors not opening, because we all have a journey, we all have a destiny, we all have our own individual paths in life. And so I believe the doors that open for you, they keep you on the path of your destiny. But if doors that close, obviously, what if you would have walked through a door that wasn't meant for you? Who knows what's on the other side of that door that could deter you from what you are supposed to be doing and getting you off task and off of the path of your goal and off the path of your destiny. And so we can just use those as a guiding, like, compass, right? Like, yes, it's obviously the way I'm supposed to go. And no, obviously it's supposed to be, I'm not sure why it's not happening for me, but that must not be my door. So being
Yeah.
able to utilize that as a way to just guide you along your way. But not saying that it's easy to deal with, but if we could look at it as a glass half full thing and say, hey, well, there's something better for me coming, there's something that's more aligned for me that will come my way.
Well, that's exactly what led me to the movie because it was a rejection that I felt like, why am I rejected? I covered this many times, I should be welcomed. So I was at home disgusted. I'm still upset about it, even though it was months ago. I was like,
Mhm.
damn, what I'm gonna do? Like, it was a big event. I needed to be there. And
Yep.
that led to the start of creating, the movie, which is leading me down a whole different path that if you would ask me 5, 6 months ago, like I would not even be in that space. I've been doing the same thing that I always did.
And where can people actually watch the film now? Where should they visit?
So right now the movie is available on Podcast Heroes themovie.com. That's Podcast Heroes themovie.com. It's available for purchase. There's a coupon code. I wish I should have remembered it. I think it's podcast 20. I believe it's podcast 20 is the discount. 20% off podcast 20. But that's where the movie is. You can see the trailer on there as well. The trailer is also on YouTube. If you type in Podcast Heroes, you'll see the trailer. the movie itself is on podcastheroesthemovie.com.
Yeah, we could definitely add the coupon code in the description. So once the episode wraps, you all will still be able to access that. I'll just go ahead and update it for you. So yeah, make sure y'all go check it out. Podcastheroesthemovie.com. And so, what's next beyond the film? Is there something next that you're looking forward to as an entrepreneur and innovator?
Yeah, right now I'm leaning towards the education part of podcasting and AI animation stuff like that. Many people has been encouraging me for a couple of years now, and the technology is available where I can do training. And actually, over the weekend, a company reached out to me and they said, "Joe, would you be interested in doing some training for young people?" So I was like, I'm hearing that more and more now. So I guess that's the path that I'll be heading down very soon. Educating people on podcasting, live streaming, how to create AI movies and stuff like that, commercials. So I believe that's the next thing that I'll be doing.
Yeah, I think, when you get to a certain level in your career, like you have how many years of experience in media? Like at least
At
10
least,
plus years,
yeah, minimum. Yeah,
you know? Oh, excuse me.
bless you.
Thank you.
Mm.
So now you're considered an expert. And so you do have the ability to teach other people and multiply yourself and, share your gifts and talents with other people and show them what you got, So same thing, same reason why I started the mastermind community, same reason I started my coaching community and teaching other business owners how to market themselves, how to do branding, what sales is all about, and how they can, you know, um, incorporate that in their business and also take it to another level and learn about it. And that is some of the first things that you need to be able to maximize and learn as you're scaling a business. How do you scale your marketing side and how do you scale your sales side? Because those are the two things that's going to be able to ultimately you scale your business to make more money and bring more people into your business. But if you're not making money, then you can't scale. And so that's how you get to that next level. And because I've had this experience, I went ahead and started to teach people the same thing. So I definitely believe that that's in the cards for you, for sure. And so, as we began to wrap up this episode of Mastermind Conversations, which has been so much fun, is there any last words of advice you want to share? Is there anything else that you would like us to know about Podcast Heroes?
Yeah, Podcast Heroes is, like I said, it's available on podcastheroesthemovie.com. I believe is going to expand into something bigger, like more Podcast Heroes movies. At the same time that I was making the movie, I was creating another movie, but it was becoming overwhelming. So I said to myself, "Let me slow down," and I still want to put it out. It's a race car movie about
Mm-hmm.
a family, not my family, but made up family. So I still would like to put that out. A few people reached out to me regarding other animated movies, but I feel maybe one of my next projects will be my race car movie. Hopefully that'll be out by late winter or next year sometime. We'll see. But yeah, follow. Oh, you can also follow the Instagram of Podcast Heroes. It's called Official Podcast Heroes. That's the Instagram of the movie. Support. I have other little animations that I created before and after the movie. About the characters and some other people in the movie. The two mascots are Chat and Chatty. They're talking microphones, so they go around the country talking to people. Like, what can I create for the movie?
Fun.
Like, all right, talking microphones. They have arms, little legs and a mouth, and they talk,
That's
which
funny.
the microphone you talk into. So yeah, Chat and Chatty. You see them
I
on
love
Instagram.
I love AI. I love how creative we can get with it and the endless possibilities with it. So congratulations again. And actually, before we go, can you please tell everybody else about the other services that you offer and how they could do business with you?
Okay. I'm also a photographer. I do event photography, corporate events, concerts, also real estate. I do real estate photos and video. I work in television, so I do live streaming productions. Like, so if you have any type of event that requires like multicam, you need it live streamed, I'll provide those services. You could follow my photography Instagram page at J Swift Photos, and I have J Swift Sports, which is mainly sports photography. That's one of my strong points as well, covering sports events like WNBA and USA Track and Field, and tons of sporting events. So photography and video is like two of my strong points right there.
Awesome. Well, make sure you all keep in touch and follow Joe on his Instagram pages. We also let you know about podcasts as well. www.podcastheroesthemovie.com. This has been another incredible episode of Mastermind Conversations. And if you are interested in coming onto this show, all you have to do is go ahead and send me a DM, send me a message, and let me know that you're interested in coming on to the podcast. We can go ahead and talk about what that looks like for you. So until next time, make sure again you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm going to make sure that you see that on the screen. DP Jeter, Danielle Page Jeter on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel and go ahead and share this episode. And we'll see you all next time. Thanks for tuning in and thank you for your support.
All right. Thanks, guys.